Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really break down the big texts in business and pull out the actionable stuff you can actually use.
And today we're tackling a giant, Andrew Grove's high output management. This thing is legendary.
It really is. And our goal today is pretty straightforward. Get right to the highest leverage insights from Grove. He treated management almost like, well, like engineering, didn't he?
Exactly. Very systematic, not fuzzy concepts. It's about process and output.
And, just so everyone knows, we're basing this deep dive on the excellent summary from our friends at BookCast FM. Their tagline is bringing books to life one cast at a time. Really good stuff.
Absolutely. And look, if this resonates with you today, we strongly encourage you to buy the actual book. Support the author, support the work. The link's right there in the description.
Definitely. Okay, let's jump in. Grove starts with this core idea that feels a bit strange for, knowledge work. Management as production engineering, like a factory.
Right. He uses this great analogy, making breakfast. You've got inputs, eggs, toast, coffee, your time. You've got a process cooking, brewing, plating, and you get an output, the finished breakfast.
Okay, simple enough for breakfast.
Right.
But how does that map to, say, managing a software team?
Well, the inputs change, right? It's budget, engineer time, user stories, information. The process is coding, testing, debating features, making decisions. The output is hopefully working software that users want.
So the manager's job is to optimize that process.
Optimize the throughput of that whole system. And the starting point, Grove insists, is measurement. He famously said, if you can't measure it, you can't understand it.
But measuring software output or marketing campaigns, it's tricky. It's not like counting widgets off a line. What should you measure?
You need leading indicators, things that give you an early warning if things are going off track. Don't just wait to measure sales results or bugs found by customers.
Like what specifically?
Maybe it's how long it takes to get a decision on a key feature, or your team's velocity in clearing the backlog, or the cycle time from idea to deployment. Things that measure the health of the process.
Got it. And measuring the process helps you find the slow part, the bottleneck.
Precisely. In a factory, it's the slowest machine holding everything up. In knowledge work, it's often, well, less obvious. It could be a slow approval process, or waiting for feedback from another team, or even just unclear requirements.
So it's not usually a person.
Rarely the root cause. It's typically systemic. And the manager's job, Grove argues, is to find that bottleneck and relentlessly work to widen it, to improve that specific step's capacity.
That really changes the focus, doesn't it? Away from just being busy yourself towards fixing the system your team works within.
Absolutely. It's about process and throughput.
But fixing processes, training people, that takes the manager's time, and time is finite. How do you get the most impact from your limited hours?
That brings us straight to Grove's concept of managerial leverage. It's fundamental.
Okay, define that for us.
Your output as a manager isn't just what you personally produce. It's the output of your team, plus the output of all the other teams and groups you influence through your actions, your advice, your decisions.
So my time is limited, but my influence, my output, can be multiplied.
Exactly. That's leverage. You have to focus your time and energy only on activities that give you the highest possible return in terms of that total organizational output.
What's an example of something managers do that's actually low leverage, even if it feels productive?
Maybe manually compiling data for a report that could be automated, or attending meetings where you don't have a specific role or decision to make, or, frankly, solving problems for your team that they could solve themselves with a bit more guidance.
Okay, makes sense. So what does Grove point to as high leverage activities?
He's incredibly clear on this. Number one, training. He calls it one of the highest leverage activities a manager can perform.
Why so high?
Think about it. You spend 1 hour training someone properly on a new process or tool. How many hours does that save down the line? Fewer errors, less rework, faster execution. Maybe they can even train others. The return is huge.
So training isn't just an HR function. It's core to the manager's role.
He's adamant. Training is the boss's job. You own it. The second big one is delegation.
Right. Got to delegate to free up your time for those system-level fixes and, well, more training.
Yes, but, and this is a huge but from Grove, delegation needs careful management. He warns, delegation without supervision is abdication.
Meaning you can't just toss it over the wall and hope for the best.
Absolutely not. You need to monitor, provide check-ins, offer support, especially if the task is new to the person. You're still accountable for the result. It's about finding the right level of involvement.
Okay, so training and delegation are high-leverage actions.
Mhm.
What's the main place or way managers actually perform these high-leverage activities?
Meetings. Yeah, I know everyone groans.
Right. Meetings get such a bad rap, time wasters,
Or
unproductive.
Grove pushes back hard. He says meetings are the medium through which managerial work is performed. If your meetings suck, your management sucks. Simple as that.
Wow. Okay, so how do we make them not suck? How do we make them high leverage, according to Grove?
He breaks it down. Different meetings have different, very specific, high leverage purposes. You need to know why you're meeting.
What are the types?
First, the one-on-one. This is your prime tool for coaching, problem solving, and getting peak performance from individuals. Critically, Grove says the subordinate should set the agenda.
Interesting. Why them?
It forces them to prepare, to think about their issues, their progress, their roadblocks. It builds ownership. The manager's job is to listen, probe, coach, ensure standards are met, and basically transfer know-how.
Okay, one-on-ones for individual coaching and performance. What about group meetings?
That's the staff meeting. Its purpose is alignment and information sharing, keeping everyone on the same page, making sure decisions are communicated, facilitating discussion among the team. It's about coordination.
And the third type?
Task force meetings, these are different. They're temporary, highly focused groups pulled together to solve a specific, often cross-functional problem, maybe one of those bottlenecks we talked about. Get the right people, solve it, then disband.
So across all these, the key seems to be purpose and discipline.
Absolutely. Every meeting needs a clear goal. Are we deciding something, sharing info, or solving a problem? Who really needs to be there? And critically, every meeting must end with clear action items, owners, and deadlines. No ambiguity. Otherwise, yeah, it probably was a waste of time.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Beyond meetings, how does Grove think about structuring the work itself? Let's talk about decisions. Making decisions can be a huge bottleneck.
Totally. And Grove's rule is designed to prevent that. Decisions should be made at the lowest competent level. Push the authority down to where the information actually lives.
So the person closest to the problem should make the call, if they're capable.
Exactly. If managers hoard all the decision-making power, they become the bottleneck and everything slows down.
But what about the risk? Pushing decisions down might mean faster, but maybe less accurate decisions.
Grove addresses that. The key factor is reversibility. How easily can you undo the decision if it turns out wrong? If it's easily reversible, like changing some marketing copy, prioritize speed. If it's hard or impossible to reverse, like launching a faulty product, then you need more rigor, more checks, even if it's slower.
That makes sense. And once you've debated, how do you ensure everyone gets behind the decision, even if they initially disagreed? That famous disagree and commit principle.
Right. This is crucial. Grove saw decision-making in two distinct phases. Phase 1, vigorous debate. You want disagreement, different perspectives. That leads to better thinking.
Okay, debate is good.
But phase 2, once the decision is made by the appropriate person at that lowest competent level, everyone commits. You execute that decision wholeheartedly as if it was your own idea. It's not about blind obedience. It's about recognizing that alignment is necessary for effective action. If you can't commit, you probably shouldn't be on the team executing it.
That clarity is powerful.
Yep.
Let's bring it back to the people. Grove talks a lot about adapting your management style. It's not one size fits all.
No, definitely not. This is where his concept of task-relevant maturity, or TRM, comes in. It's absolutely key.
2RM, explain that.
It's basically how competent and confident an employee is at performing a specific task. And the emphasis is on task-specific. Someone could be a senior expert in one area but have very low TRM for a brand new assignment. It's not about the person overall. It's about their readiness for that job.
Though TRM varies by task, that means the manager needs to
Flex their style constantly. If someone has low TRM for a task, they're new to it, unsure, you need to be highly structured. Give clear instructions, maybe a template, check in frequently, provide detailed feedback, it's close guidance.
which some might call micromanagement.
Grove would say it's necessary structure for low TRM. It's not micromanagement if it's what the person needs to succeed at that specific task.
Yeah.
Now, if someone has high TRM for a task,
You back off.
exactly, you delegate, you give autonomy. You define the objective, maybe some constraints, but let them figure out how to get there. Your oversight shifts to monitoring the results, not the process steps.
And if you get that mismatch, you're too hands-off with low TRM or too directive with high TRM.
Grove is blunt. The mismatch between management style and TRM is the manager's mistake, not the subordinates. It's your job as the manager to assess TRM accurately and adapt.
Okay, that flows right into performance. How do you measure it effectively in this system?
Always focus on output, results achieved, not how busy someone looked or how much effort they seemed to put in, but what did they actually deliver against the objectives?
And this leads to performance appraisals, which can be awkward.
They can be, but Grove sees them as a critical managerial duty. He says the manager acts as both judge and jury.
Judge and jury. How does that work? Seems contradictory.
Well, as the judge, you're objectively assessing past performance against the agreed-upon standards and outputs. Did they meet the goals? Yes or no? Fairly straightforward, based on data and observation.
Okay, that's the judging part. What's the jury role?
The jury looks forward. Based on the performance assessment and the person's capabilities, what's the plan for development? What training do they need? What new opportunities can help them grow? How can we increase their TRM on future tasks? It's about future improvement.
And the key to making appraisals work, not being dreaded, is?
No surprises. If there's negative feedback in a formal review that the employee hasn't heard before, the manager failed. Feedback, positive and corrective, needs to be constant, informal, part of those regular one-on-ones. The appraisal should just summarize and formalize what's already been discussed.
Makes sense. Okay, final big area. As organizations get bigger, how do you maintain control and alignment without drowning in rules? What's the ultimate control mechanism for growth?
He talks about 3 modes of control. First, there are free market forces, customer demands, competitor actions, that kind of external pressure.
Right, the market disciplines you.
Second, contractual obligations. These are the internal rules, policies, budgets, procedures, the formal stuff, bureaucracy, essentially.
Okay, market forces, rules.
Uh-huh.
What's the third and presumably most important for growth?
Cultural values. This, he argues, is the highest and most effective form of control. Why? Because, as he puts it, it works without supervision.
Explain that. How does culture control behavior without rules?
Think about it. If you have a strong culture of, say, frugality, people don't need a 50-page expense policy to avoid wasting money. They just know it's not how things are done here. Culture guides all the little decisions people make every day when no one is looking. Rules require monitoring and enforcement, which adds overhead and slows things down. Culture is self-enforcing if it's strong.
So culture isn't just slogans on the wall, it's the real rules of the game.
Exactly. It's the unwritten operating manual. And crucially, it's shaped by tangible things: who gets hired, who gets promoted, and maybe most powerfully, who gets rewarded.
Ah, the rewards.
Grove nailed it here. People do what you reward. If your words and rewards are not consistent, your culture will follow the rewards. If you say you value teamwork but only give bonuses to individual stars, guess what kind of culture you'll actually get?
You get a bunch of individual stars, not a team. Spot on.
So managing culture becomes maybe the highest leverage activity of all for senior managers.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up, the core message from Grove is that management isn't some vague art. It's a discipline. It's about systematically designing and optimizing a system, including meetings, decisions, and people skills to maximize your team's output. And ultimately, shaping the culture is the most powerful way to do that.
That's a great summary. It's incredibly practical engineering-like thinking applied to leading people.
Which brings us to our final thought for you, the listener, to chew on this week. Grove says culture, shaped by rewards, is the ultimate control. So, here's the challenge. What are 3 specific, visible actions you could take this week related to who you praise publicly, what small wins you celebrate, or how you assign desirable tasks that would clearly signal and reinforce the cultural values you actually want on your team's scoreboard?
A tough question, but a really important one. What signals are you sending?
Indeed. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure, as always.
And a big thank you again to BookCast FM, bringing books to life one cast at a time, for the summary that helps shape today's discussion. Please do check out the link in the description to buy Andrew Grove's High Output Management. It's a classic for a reason.
Definitely worth owning.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.